There is something about coming to a riverside early in the morning, listening to the sounds of crickets and watching canoes move in the gentle tide. This is the River Benue, one of the two rivers that divide the nation of Nigeria. As with other major water bodies around the world, many people's lives depend on the river. The local construction industry is sustained by the dredging of the sand by the River Benue's bank. It is also a source of water for those areas of town where pipe-borne water is not available. The River Benue has its source in the Adamawa Plateau of northern Cameroon, and for the first 240 kilometers, it falls 600 meters in waterfalls and rapids. By the time it reaches Nigeria though, it is calmer and uninterrupted until it joins the Niger River near Lokoja. Atahiru Bala Usman of Allott Nigeria Limited and Tim Beckett of Beckett Rankin UK have set out to study what the river is like in this season before the proposed dredging of the river by their various firms begin.
I'm Tim Beckett of Beckett Rankin. I've come from London and we're here at Makurdi on the River Benue. And we're on a trip down to Lokoja, and this is the boat we're about to go on. And we're leaving from the beach where they're doing the dredging for the sand. So hopefully we'll have a successful trip and I won't fall in.
At the time of this trip though, it is dry season in West Africa and the river is low. The team is worried that this might impede the smooth running of the engines of the boat. So far, this hasn't caused any problems and the boat is gliding through the water swiftly. The river banks are lined with lots of beautiful trees, but there are visible signs of damage caused by erosion. The team studies their maps, taking notes of what they see along the route. Various communities live along the river banks, with boats ferrying numerous goods and people continuously. The level of the water has steadily been sinking over the last 100 years, so the team takes measurements of the current water levels. Unfortunately, the boat engines have gotten stuck in the low waters and they are having to push their way out. After a few hours, the team stops to refuel the boat and have a discussion with a member of the local community.
So what's the current like in the rainy season?
In the rainy season, it's almost 7 months.
Right. So you can't paddle your canoe against that?
Like one of Lokoja Beach. That one is almost 10 months.
Once again, the boat gets held up in the low waters. This is one of the main reasons for the present study, to trace the river's route from Makurdi to Lokoja, and why the Nigerian government wants to dredge the River Benue, as it is currently doing with the Niger River, to allow all year-round navigability for larger boats, which will increase economic and commercial activities on the river. Life for the people who live along the river is linked to the water, and right now only smaller boats can move easily along the low waters. Darkness comes and the team has to stop the study for the day and are potting at a local community for the night. A community elder has hosted the team for the night and is taking them back to the boat while showing them sights in the community. The team continues their journey. While some engine maintenance is being done, the team watches a huge herd of cattle being watered in the river. Finally, the team makes it to Lokoja. Tim Beckett looks at measurements of the original water levels, and we can see how levels have fallen over the years.
Yeah, it's been quite an interesting trip from Makadi to Lokoja. It's enabled us to see the river firsthand, see areas where it's silted up, and see the economic use that the people around there make of it. The next step now is to go on to a detailed bathymetric hydrographic survey of the area to be able to develop a map that will show us the areas to be dredged to achieve all year round navigability, which is the main thrust of the project. It will be able to allow for inland water navigation. It will allow for the decongestion of the existing Lagos and Port Harcourt ports. It will create more economic activity around these areas. There is a lot of demand for inland water navigation, but the silt and the low depths does not allow that.
What I found the trip most interesting, I think there's two particular things that caught my attention. The first is how important the river is to the communities and how intimately their lives revolve around it. So there's a lot of fishing and washing and everything, even mining sand that goes on in the river. So it's quite important in anything that we do that we don't alter that or adversely affect how the people live with the river. The second thing that I noticed was that the river is so mobile. The banks are nearly all sand and silts, and the river wanders about within this, between the banks. One is eroding, the other is accreting, there's islands. It's all a very dynamic situation and changes every year with the rainy season. Trying to find a solution for navigation with all this dynamic river morphology is going to be quite a challenge.